Chief Constable Serena Kennedy from Merseyside Police. It is with great sadness today I am here to advise that 2 children have died as a result of the injuries sustained in this morning's knife attack. 9 other children have been injured and 6 of them are in a critical condition. All those injured have suffered stab wounds sustained during the attack, and 2 adults are also in a critical condition after being injured during the incident. A 17-year-old male from Banks in Lancashire, who is originally from Cardiff, has been arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder.
Let them keep gaslighting you that this is a gun problem. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification, multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel, like content, what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. Once again, my PSA, if your comments disappear, I'm not doing it. There seems to be a growing problem across the platform with specific comments on specific channels being deleted. So if your comment gets deleted, I'm not doing it. Let's talk about this. And this is coming out of Southport, England. And it's horrific. It's an horrific story, to say the least. But the premise of the story is a group of girls between the ages of 6 and 12 were having a party, a Taylor Swift themed dance party. Some adults there. A person came into the facility. I'm not sure if it was a home. They didn't really make that clear, but entered where this party was taking place and went on a stabbing spree. And as of right now, we have 3 people dead and we have 8 people, if I'm not mistaken, injured. 2 adults and the rest are all children from the ages of 6 to 12. The 3 young girls who lost their lives to this scumbag. Our prayers, man, you just can't imagine. But there's a lot of information that is coming out. Of course, England has this thing where they tend to hide the status and ethnicity of perpetrators deliberately. But it seems that this person was a son of Rwandan immigrants. He was born in Cardiff.
We know from what little information we've been passed by the Merseyside police, who haven't named the youth in question because he's underage, apparently. He's under 18, so he doesn't get named, but he appears to be the son of Rwandan immigrants who came to this country sometime before he was born, so sometime, I guess, in the last 18 years or so. And as some of our listeners and viewers have said, you know, this is how we get rewarded.
But that does not undermine what he did. And we still have no motive. We're still struggling to find a motive. But there's a lot going on. Now, I'm going to start with this piece of video where a masked individual was seen wandering in front of a home. I believe it was 5 miles from where this incident took place. And right after the incident, the police stormed up on the place and basically, you know, served warrant and broke in. I want to show you that video. Now, This is not coincidental. Here's a video of the guy wandering in front of the home. He's got a mask on. He's wearing specific clothing. They captured this person at the event. There must have been a reason they went to that house and basically basically invaded that house. There must be a reason. This is not coincidental that they have this video and the police show up at the same house after the event. But there's a lot of energy in covering up the identity of this person, because they say, well, he's under 18, so at the age of 17 they have to protect his privacy because they consider him a child, which is amazing to me. But there's a lot of speculation going around, but these gentlemen are spitting some facts.
You know, you don't want to talk about these things, but I'm afraid it's unavoidable, because those two other interesting cases that you mentioned also involve immigrants.
Well, because this savage monster is 17 years old, the police, due to the law of the land, are going to be very tied in what they can say. And Serena Kennedy, the chief constable last night, only said originally from Cardiff. There is huge public interest. Of course, the public want to know, who is this person? What is their background? Where were they raised? And all those kind of things. But it's going to be very frustrating for the media and for the public that a full picture will probably not be painted until such time as this person stands trial and is convicted. Perhaps only then will we get chapter and verse on this very short life. I think you're getting very close to what I believe is going to have to happen with modern policing. However they do it, the police have got to get back to patrolling the streets. And I mean officers walking in pairs would be far preferable. Walking the streets, stopping and searching people at the slightest hint of something that is not quite right. And they need to be supported politically in doing this, because otherwise there's no deterrent. People are going out with knives onto the streets in the full knowledge that they will not bump into a police officer, they will not get stopped, and they will not get searched. This is what has been lost in modern policing, and it needs to be reinvented, and reinvented urgently.
Now, I want to play you this clip here. This is indicative of politicians around the world. When they don't want to tell you the truth, they will gaslight you. Listen how this Labour Party leader answers the questions.
You mentioned the investigation, of course. We heard from Merseyside Police yesterday that it isn't being considered a terror-related incident. How do we know that it's not terror-related?
Well, there is a serious criminal investigation underway because this was a horrific attack. It's important that the police pursue every single avenue, and that is what Merseyside Police are now doing. I support Merseyside Police in that work, but it's immensely important that they need to be able to continue that, and they will provide updates. You'll understand that I'm not going to say anything that would cut across their investigation or prejudice that investigation, as I take that investigation immensely seriously into this truly horrific attack.
I know we're running really tight on time, but I just want to quickly ask you, Home Secretary, is there anything else you can tell us about the perpetrator? For example, were they known to the authorities?
Well, Merseyside Police are leading this extremely important and serious criminal investigation. This was a horrific attack, and they need to be able to get on with that work, and they will provide us with updates. You'll understand that others should not be speculating or commenting in advance of those updates, and we really welcome the work of Merseyside Police. But it's also important that they pursue every single angle of inquiry. But I think at the same time, the police officers, alongside pursuing that criminal investigation, police officers are also members of the community. We've talked to first responders today and some of the police officers who were there yesterday and who had to respond. They're also working in the community to support each other and to support the community in the face of something so awful happening.
Notice, what's common there? She didn't answer the question. She never answered the question. Every time they said, well, do you think this is a terrorist act? She would say, well, I don't want to speculate because I don't want to hamper the investigation. Well, you speculating has nothing to do with the investigation. Everything came back to the investigation. What do you think of? Was it this? Was it that? What about the suspect? I don't want to hamper or undermine the investigation. So full of crap is frightening. It's frightening. Now, we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. Because like I said, England's on this woke kick where they won't expose the perpetrator's ethnicity, status. They just kind of bury that stuff. But I will tell you this. Numerous people are now critically wounded and dead. And a gun wasn't involved. England not only has a gun ban, but they have a knife ban. Do you see how that works? Do you see how that works? But unfortunately, other than England, this is going to be a non-story here in the United States because, well, you know, gun wasn't involved. Because trust me, if the gun had been involved, boom, boom. It'd be front and center national news on every network. But this story is going to remain a story for England. They're shocked and outraged. And I'm like, what you think evil just kind of picks and chooses an implement and goes with it? No, evil has no boundaries. It doesn't matter whether it be an SUV, whether it be a knife, whether it be a gun. It does not matter. So don't let them convince you that somehow, as they do here when they always talk about gun violence, and stories like this, once again, getting ignored. These 3 girls are going to be buried. These parents, I can't imagine. Because I guarantee you, their grief and their angst and just the pure horror of this is just as much as anyone from any shooting at any time. It is the same degree of despair. But we elevate some forms of death and we denounce and dismiss other forms. This story is just a damn shame that it happened. But evil has no boundaries. Imagine just for a second, you have to pick a specific state. I'm going to go with the most obvious. Imagine that this dance party was in Lubbock, Texas. And this dude came through that door with that knife looking to cause harm. 2, 3 of those mothers would have dropped him before he got through the doorway. Period. But none of these people had a right to defend themselves because not only guns are banned, but knives. They can't carry any form of weaponry to defend themselves with. Not necessarily to cause trouble, but to defend themselves with. That's why this happened. Nobody could defend. I mean, 2 adults got involved, tried to prevent him from doing it, and they got critically wounded also. My heart goes out to these people, to the community, because these deaths are just as important as any other form of murder. And these 3 young girls and their families, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine what they're going through. But in my eyes, they count just as much as anyone else. And once again, they're not going to get piles of money for it. They're damn sure not going to meet the president. That's the disgusting part. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.